And here we are again. Show number 307. Roll number 307. This is a 1953D. Original bank wrapped roll from the First National Bank of Chicago. It's one of the older original rolls I've picked for this week, or this entire month. It's one of the older rolls for this month. Speaking of month, I will have next month's reveals ready for viewing for the subscribers here in the next day or two. It's that time again. Time to start making a decision as to whether you want to stick with the subscription you have. If you do, let me know you want to be in on the subscription so I can get you on the waiting list. And we'll get all those spots filled, and everyone will know soon enough whether or not they successfully got in for the subscription. So here we are. Let me go ahead and open this roll. 1953. These things have been wrapped up for nearly 70 years. Since my mother and father were in the first grade. That's just amazing. 1953. The 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air hadn't even been invented yet. Nor had the ballpoint pen. Nor the microwave oven. That's right. Alright, here we go. Wrapper over the coins. There we go. Coins look pretty nice. So we'll have to see for sure by going through the roll, but they look nice as we start here. Coin number 1, John Brandon Bow. John Brandon Bow will get this nice coin. Earlier die state. I don't see any doubling in the date or on the mint mark. We have to be watchful for one in particular, which shows what you're going to see is going to be a part of a D mint mark sticking out of the vest over here. This isn't one of them, but we have to be watchful for that. I have a couple of nice RPMs for 1953D. RPM 1, RPM 2 are both FS listed. They're very strong double dies. 1953D is not one of the dates that is known for double die reverses, but we're going to be looking through these anyway. At least the first 10 coins. We're going to look at the reverses. Now, this side was exposed to the air. It was exposed to the outside world for all these 68 years. So you have to be cognizant of that when you open a roll, that the end coins are generally not going to be in the same condition as a part of the rest of the roll. So that's coin number 1. Coin number 1 out of the way now. Go on to coin number 2. Coin number 2, if I can ever get this static as holding these together. Carl Ignatz. Carl, this is your coin, coin number 2. And number 2 is not really different from coin number 1. It is an earlier die state coin, but it is not showing signs of doubling. On the obverse anyway, nothing with the mint mark. I like the die state on these coins. These coins are nice earlier struck coins off the dies. That'll give us a better chance, if we do have a die variety, of actually detecting it, seeing it, and liking it. Another example of machine doubling right here. There's machine doubling for you. You can see that the doubling area actually takes away from the thickness of the normal letters, because the normal letter would be as thick as the doubling plus the other part. And it also is very flat to the field, which is another sign of machine doubling. And machine doubling tends to just kind of tear up the design in different areas of the coin because of the coin not being ejected properly or not being struck properly because of a loose die. One or the other. Doesn't really make any difference. Either way, it's a flaw in the machine that's causing the doubling, which is why it's called machine doubling. Those who might have heard mechanical doubling, you can go with mechanical doubling if you want. To me, that's incorrect. It is machine doubling. It's doubling caused by the press, by the machine. Machine doubling. Mechanical doubling would insinuate always that there was a problem with the machine, and eject doubling doesn't necessarily happen because of a problem with the machine. The coin just gets stuck on the die, and when it goes to eject the coin off the die, it doubles the design in the process. So to be more correct about it, I tend to just stick with machine doubling, since it's also easier to say, it's shorter to write, and it only has 2 syllables versus 3 syllables, or actually 4 syllables for mechanical. So there's all of my reasons why. You guys can do what you want to do with regard to that, because I've seen it both ways in books, but I call it machine doubling and always have. Another 1953D. Let's start looking for markers so that we'll know these dies. There's a short die scratch up above the 9, and this D is right of normal. It's not directly between the 9-5. It is toward the 5 a little bit more. So we have a couple of, well, these are actually, I think they're concentric die scratches. They are. They're concentric die scratches, meaning that they're centered around the center of the design, which is the lower jaw area. Got a heavier die scratch through the 9 there. Hello, Thunder. The dog just eased up and went over to the chair and laid down. Now that Thunder's going to send him right back under my desk. Okay, so we know that die. And we know that there is nothing going on with that die to make it pickable. There's a little struck through right there. Struck through the E of America. It's a concavity without any splash out. There's no flange on the outside edge of that like there is here. There's a flange where the metal was moved. That's a hit on the coin. The metal was actually struck into the coin, or the coin was struck through something, and you can tell that because the metal didn't move around the edge of the struck through, because it was being suppressed by the die itself, by the design on the coin, or on the die, sorry, design on the coin. Brandon, everybody has been through that at one point or another. Everyone has been through that. Okay, here's another coin, and it is a different die. This one has a, let's see. Okay, this one has a rather long die scratch going southeast out of the chin, or out of the throat area. So we'll go with that as a marker for this die. Nice clean looking dies though. Very nice looking sharp designs on these coins. We haven't really run into anything yet, but that doesn't mean a whole lot. We're only up to coin number 5. We've got plenty of time. Plenty of time to hit more stuff, find something in this roll. I don't see anything yet though. Nothing yet. Number 6 now. Number 6 goes to Thomas Murphy, one of the newer family members. Maybe we'll find a good one for him. Well, this is a different die. It's a later die state coin. And this one has a die dot up in between the top of the 9-5 of the date, so that we can mark this as we've seen this die. And so let me move around here a little bit and see what we can find. The die scratch below the Geo of God. Big die crack across the head. Die clash of the C above Y, along with a die scratch running right through that clash. A few really nice markers here. Hey, Malcolm, you come back to join us for another roll? It's your radio program of the week. That's right. I want you guys to be as excited when you tune in as I was on Sunday evenings when Tinkerbell started dancing around the screen because we were getting ready to see another Walt Disney special. That's how excited I want you guys to be when I come on the air. So I will do whatever I can in my power to make this show at least that exciting. It's another different die, but we don't have anything on this one. Got a lot of them with the D shifted over underneath the 5. Wait a minute, this one might actually be an RPM. Nope. Okay. I'm seeing a little something on the bottom of the mint mark. Here comes Malcolm barging in saying mechanical doubling. So it's like I said, the term is one of the looser fitting terms in numismatics. So I guess it's correct to call either one. It just crawls on my skin when I hear mechanical doubling because it's so much more difficult to say than machine doubling, which is the right term. I don't have a Tinkerbell suit. Tinkerbell always dances in front of the screen before Walt Disney comes on. I'm Walt Disney. Here's one for Farm Dog. Let's see what Farm Dog ends up pulling out of the roll. Oh, this one's definitely nice. There you go. Bam, RPM number 2 right there. I think that's number 2. Which one is it? Is that number 1 or number 2? I'm thinking number 1 now. Yeah, this is hot right here. This is a good, at least $20 to $30 coin. Let's see. We'll check the condition of the coin overall. It's a decent coin. Nice red coin. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, very, very nice. This is either RPM 1 or RPM 2. Either way, it's an FS listed coin, and PCGS will grade these. This looks like it's probably going to turn out to be a 63 red. Maybe 64. Awesome, Farm Dog. There you go. Yeah, beauty. First RPM out of the roll, and it's a monster. 1989 was the last year for RPMs on Lincoln Cents. There were other series of coins, believe it or not. And many of those series of coins, the RPMs ended at different times, depending on when they changed over their way of making dies, or making the hubs. It was actually master dies. The mint mark was placed directly into the master dies on Lincoln Cents beginning with the year 1990. As I understand, it happened with quarters and dimes and half dollars earlier than that, as early as 1985. And as my understanding goes, the San Francisco Mint started doing it much earlier. Now coin number 10, Malcolm. Now we've got something to hope for, because this is an original roll. Oops, that coin is... That coin doesn't sound right. Huh. I don't think that coin sounds right. We're going to move everything out of the way here. I can find a flat spot to put this on. Here we go. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to get my trusty scale out here. And we're going to check that coin. Watch it be normal. It just sounds different. It sounds weird. So because it sounds weird, I'm going to assume it's underweight. Oh, that's the wrong mode. Mode. 3.03 grams. So it's not really underweight. Just sounds a little different. Okay, so let's see what it is. Now we get it under the scope. It is, the one with the concentric die scratches in the front here. Little north and south die scratch next to the D. Yeah, so this is another one of the normal coins. Not exactly what we were after, but hey, it is what it is. Now, 1953 D is not one of the issues well known for its double die reverses, so I'm not necessarily expecting to find anything on the reverse of these coins. I'm just kind of giving it a chance to pop out if it wants to. You never know what you might find when you're not looking for it. Okay, scale, thank you for doing your job. I'm going to move you off to the side so that we can get this back out. Now that one's for Malcolm. Goes in Malcolm's holder for number 10. And we move on to coin number 11 now. Coin number 11 is for Jim Fletcher. Possibly a very exciting roll we've started here. Okay, this is another one of the ones with the die scratch above the 9 and the concentric die scratches. So we have nothing there again. Not a die variety on here. Turn it over to the reverse and see if we have anything we should be talking about on the reverse, but I highly doubt it because we've already seen this reverse. And that's that for that. That's that for that. Mike Birchman. See, I did it right that time. Mike Birchman. Another one of them. This is the other die with the north and south scratch next to the D. Another normal one. Few spots in this roll, but we know it's original. Or at least we know that nobody's picked through this for die varieties. That's for sure. Coin Hunter. And Coin Hunter will get... Bum, 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 bum. That's another normal one. This one has the die scratch straight up out of the 1. Remember this one for that. Later die state coin with a die scratch straight up out of the 1. Little die crack running across the head there. And that's about it for this one. Okay, that's it there. Now number 14, Malcolm. Back to Malcolm we go. And Malcolm gets, it's another one that is an earlier die state. It's not one that we've studied markers on yet, so let's find some markers for this. If we can. Okay. A little die scratch off the bottom of the 5, headed southeast off the bottom of the 5. Number of little southeast die scratches running through the date area, but those may not be very evident on a different coin, so we have to find something that might be a little bit better than that, a little easier to see. So I see the heavy die dot on the coat there, but that may actually be a fleck of metal. I don't know exactly what's going on the lapel up there. The thing looks like a little head of a key. Hard to tell what that is exactly. Okay, so we're just going to go with this one, not having very good markers. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick and see what we've got going on in the reverse. We've got good markers on the reverse, but I don't necessarily want to have to flip it over just to see markers. I prefer to find markers on the obverse of coins, not the reverse. But one of the good markers we've got is the die scratches headed south out of the top of the T there. Temporary die scratches versus permanent ones. Temporary die scratches are ones that can be worn off or polished off of a die, and the permanent ones are the ones that are there to stay. You can't do anything about them. Die cracks, cuds, anything that's damaged to the die that's heavy enough that you're not going to be able to scratch it out without obliterating the design, those are permanent. There's one for Mac, and it looks like the same die again. Yeah. Got the little die scratches running southeast through the date. There's one coming out of the throat right there. Kind of a sort of an iffy spotted coin, but it's got very bright luster on it. It's a really nice bright coin. We've seen this die before, so we're going to skip the reverse on this one. Reverse looks decent. Let's see, coin number 16 now. Coin number 16 goes to Bob Hampton. And this is the one that's got the little die scratch next to the D. So we know we've seen this die before. Stop it. Quit moving, light. There. It'll stop soon. Hang on. My lights like to creep. When they creep, they get too close to my fingers. When they get too close to my fingers hit them. When my fingers hit them, it gives you a seizure. A little strobing effect. And I don't like that. But it's part of the price you pay to have a good microscope. Marshall up next. And Marshall gets... Now see, I've seen this a number of times. It's the same die that we've seen a number of times over. And I see what appears that could maybe be some fuzz of something up in the upper part of the D. On the inside of the D, there's a little kind of a hump there. It sort of looks like the upper horizontal of the mint mark going across there. Sort of. I've seen this die before. Eric will help me determine whether or not he thinks it's a RPM. If he thinks it's an RPM, we'll talk more about it and possibly get it listed. Otherwise, it will remain in the normal coin pile where I will be placing it this very evening. Hello, Melanie. Now number 18 for Wanda. Wanda. Nothing there. Nothing there. Let's see. Looking here for specifically for doubling, actually. So Melanie, was Eric a good boy today and he cleaned up the whole house? Or is it like a days-long procedure? This one's one that we've seen before. Nice die that we've seen before. It's an earlier die state, but It has no variety. Nothing there. And here's number 20. And number 20 is going to be another normal one. This one has the die scratch next to the D. Gosh, folks, I want to get another one of those. What was that? Was that number 2 or number 1? Did anybody ever figure it out? I don't have a listing thing open, so I believe it was number 1. Point number 21. 21 goes to Lucy. And it's another normal one. I believe it was number 1. Okay. The house looks good and Eric is tired. They have the grandkids coming, so they had to basically grandkid proof the house. Ought to be fun. Getting a visit with the grandkids. Here's number 22. Yo, man. It's the die scratch west of the D. So we've seen this one. What's that? Little tiny lamination peel. Metal peeled back. Interesting little thing. That one's for Yo Man. Or are they on their way now? One for Marshall. So we're like at T-0 time, huh? I guess now's your chance to run if you're going to. I mean, not run for pizza, but run away. Within the hour, huh? I don't know, how far can you get in an hour? That's where I would be. If I really get going good in a straight line, I could be about 60 miles away in an hour. I know, he's such a good boy. Always does his chores. Yeah. He's going to come up here and visit here, and my wife is going to look at him like, how come Chuck isn't like you? I don't know. How come? That's right. That's where I'd be, heading for the hills. Another one for Bob Hampton. He gets the later die state one. This is the later die state one with the one scratch coming straight up out of the 1. So we've seen this die before. Let me take a look around and see what else we find on this one, if anything. And it appears to be just a 1953 D Lincoln cent. You feel your back pulling out before you get here. Oh, so you don't have to lift any boxes? Here's one for Eric. Now I'll sit you on a heating pad with boxes full of flips to go through. Got nothing on this one. For Mr. Eric. Number 27 now, Mike Birchman. Oh, it's another one of those with the scratch coming out of the 1. Later die state. We know this die. We've seen it a few times before. He'll need a pillow. Okay. I can do that. I'll get him a pillow. Get him a pillow and a 6-pack of beer. Set him down in front of a TV and a cozy chair with a bunch of coins and put him in heaven. He'll be in his own little trance. Alright, this is the one with the die scratch west of the D. We have a lot of the same die, or same dies, running over and over and over again, so we definitely do have an original roll here. I'm getting faster and faster with this roll as we go through it because we've seen the same dies so many times now. Not really a whole lot of point in going through the entire coin with a microscope because, well, once you've seen the important part and you know it isn't anything, no need to go through more of it. This one's got the, let's see, which one is this one? This is the one with the little die scratch coming out of the 5. There it is, coming out of the lower 5. It's this right here. And that's how I remember this die. And this one's got, this particular coin's got some spotting on it. You may hear the dog snoring here soon because the storms have finally left and, well, the dog is exhausted from running from the thunder. Coin number 30 now for Jim Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher, what does he get? Well, he's another one. This is... Which one is this? I don't know for sure that I've seen this die before. So it's got a die dot above the 5, and it's got a kind of a wavy little die scratch from the 9 to the vest. I'm not sure that I've seen this before. It doesn't have any doubling on the obverse. Let's check the reverse on this one real quick. And the reverse shows us that it too is not doubled. It too is not doubled. Or it is not doubled. Yeah, something like that. Here's one from Marshall. See what Marshall gets here. It's going to be another one of the ones we've seen plenty of times before. All of these seem to have a little bit of fuzz in the upper part of the D, so I'm going to say that's probably part of the Mi'kmaq base punch, or Mi'kmaq punch base. I don't know why I do that. I dyslexize my words. I mix them up in my sentences. Is dyslexize a word? Is that something I can use? I dyslexize it. Here's number 32, Jim Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher gets, and it's another one of the non-goes. I want to know how many RPM 1s are in this roll right now. So we're going to keep looking. Number 33, Jeff Dunn. And it's another. See. Yep, got the die scratch next to the Y. I've seen this one before. That's the same one that's got that little wavy die scratch below the 9 toward the vest. Dyslexiizing my words. Sorry, I'm confused. Sureg. Up next. Let's see what Sureg gets. Well, it's a pretty example of nothing. but it is just nothing. Same die would just pass. It's got the die scratch on the Y, and over here it's got that little weak wavy die scratch from the bottom of the 9 to the vest. You can kind of see it there. It also has a pretty strong die scratch inside the 9, north and south. And the die dot above the 5, we've seen that a few times. So I was asked the other day, or actually I come across a Facebook post. I said, if you had a chance to go back to your childhood and choose your main profession all over again, what would it be? We've seen this die before too. I know what mine would be. I mean, I'd be retired from it by now, but I know what it would be. I always did, even in my 20s, in my 30s. I wanted to be a firefighter. I wanted to go through firefighter training and be a firefighter. And it just never happened. It's one of those things. I mean, I even had a chance to go to training one time. Just didn't do it. I don't know why. It just didn't work out. Sometimes things in life are meant to be and they just happen. Other times they, just don't. And that's what I am now. I'm a coin roll hunter. That's what I do for a living. It's a very tough living. Especially when the coin rolls are like this one. It's an anxiety attack awaiting to happen. Mr. McBride. Oh, is that what you would have been, Melanie? A sniper? Or is that what you're placing on me, being a sniper? I don't know that I would really want to be a sniper. I mean, I had the eye for it. Hey, Crappie Tim. I did do well with the equivalent of the rifleman's badge in the Air Force. It's an expert marksman ribbon. You want to be a sniper. I will not mess with you. Probably shoot me between the eyes from a half mile with a BB gun. Get that trajectory just right. Three clicks down, 2 clicks left. Be the female version of Jason Bourne. So you want to be running around, having people chase you in different countries around the world because they think you're somebody you're not, or something like that. You want to live a life of danger. You, my lady, need to be an Air Force Ranger. That is a struck through right there on the R. In fact, it's a struck through piece of rim. Interesting. There's a peel on the rim right there, and there's another peel up here that popped out. Interesting little tidbits. Acrobatic butt kicking. I'm just not even going to go there, because if I do, I could get my butt kicked. I don't mess with women. Here's a primary reason why. They're not necessarily physically superior to men, but I can tell you for sure that they're mentally superior. Women may not be able to just directly come out and kick your ass, but if they want to do it, they'll find a way. and you will not avoid it. It's just going to happen. A hit girl. I like that idea. A hit girl. That's a hair on the coin right there, actually. It's a hair. It's thinner than mine. It's thinner than the dog's. It's probably a hair that belonged to a bank employee. But it's gone now, so it doesn't matter. And we have yet another normal coin. We're on to coin number 42 now. Coin number 42 goes to Thomas Murphy. Please be an RPM. Nope. Die scratch to the west of the D. Seen this one plenty of times. I guess according to what other people have told me, I should have been a radio DJ for a living. Yeah, top 40 hits all the time. That's what I should be doing. From the Rockefeller Center in New York City, the news is next. Here's one for Thomas. Maybe he'll get the RPM. Nope. What a bummer. I mean, it's great for Farm Dog, but it's kind of a bummer for everybody else. You're only going to get one really nice RPM in the entire roll. I mean, I've seen it before. This isn't the first time. Wolfman Jack. I don't do Wolfman Jack very well because I have to restrain my voice. And my throat gets all messed up. Yeah, I used to do Wolfman Jack when I was younger. I tried anyway. It didn't work out well for me. Don Pardo. Well, being a commentator was never going to be my thing. You know, like trying to do sports, live calling on sports and stuff like that. There's another west of the D die scratch. This one's not going to be anything. We can look at it anyway because it's free. Hello, Ted. I think if I wanted to be anybody on radio, I would probably want to follow the best I've ever heard. That's right. Best I've ever heard. Paul Harvey. I think Paul Harvey was probably the best person ever on radio. He made you, every time he would do an advertisement for something, he would make you feel like you were buying it directly from him. Now, if you don't like it, just send it back and I'll send your money back to you. Yeah, we make them with the best of quality. This I can guarantee. And now, the rest of the story. Yeah, Harry Carey was really good, but I'm nothing like Harry Carey. Harry Carey had a completely different type of voice, a different accent from me. And he also was a sports caller, which I can't do. Not good enough at the positions and all that kind of stuff. I'd be like, he hit the baseball really far away and over there to the, let's see, our right. And that guy standing out there in right field, number 20, caught the ball before it hit the ground. So I think he's out. That would be my sports calling. I'd drive you nuts. Kind of like this roll's driving me nuts. The one with the die scratch headed straight north out of the one. We've seen this die before. Should probably be one of the guys who does the fast talking at the end of the commercials. You know they speed those people up. People don't talk that fast. Last coin, folks. And it's not the RPM. It's another one of these ones with the die scratch coming straight up out of the one. And this one's kind of an ugly coin because it was on the end of the roll. That is the roll, folks. Is that? Nah, it's just abrasion on the rim. I thought it might have been a clip, but it's not. Well, it is what it is. We got one single RPM out of the roll. It happens to be the number one RPM for the year. Here it is again. We'll take a look at it while we cry for everyone else. Where is it? Where'd it go? Here it is. A beautiful coin. Absolutely breathtaking RPM. Let's get that thing scooted in way tight. Right there. Let me turn my light up so we can see it better. There we go. Man, that's beautiful. That's an earlier dice date, too. It's a beautiful coin. But that is that. I was kind of wondering what a cop pop was. All right, so this is for Farm Dog. This is our one really nice RPM out of this entire roll. Unfortunately, we only got the one. And that is what we have. It's coin number 8. Going to Farm Dog. And the rest of them are all normal 1953D Lincoln cents. Makes it easy for the team, but it's not really what I wanted. All of them normal except the one. I'm going to flip it around the other way and put it on the end of the roll. And I'm going to take a short break, and I will be back with 301R. 301R is a replacement for the 1984 roll. So hopefully we'll run into some really good stuff. This is the roll right here. This one is a nice original 1984 roll. And so we'll break into this one here in just a few minutes. Give me a few minutes to take a break and get rid of these coins, get them out of the way, and then I'll be right back. I'll talk to you guys in a few.